So Mars is on the
Yes.
move. Now Mars is not attacking, are they? With the little green guys going,
Well, actually, there are probably some people that are going to think that. Some of the signs are going to think it's, take it personally, like Pisces, the sign is going into. But for all of us, I have to tell you, Mars normally takes 6 weeks to go through a sign. And Mars is the planet of ego-oriented projection. It's where we project our energies out into the world. And it has been in the sign of Aquarius. Normally it's in and out in 6 weeks, so you get mad about something for 6 weeks and then it passes. This went into Aquarius in May, and it leaves this coming week.
wow.
Yeah, and it went backwards, and that's why we had all that stuff going on this summer, and acrimony and all that jazz. And I think Mars going into Pisces is probably good for everybody, just to take a little bit of the contentiousness away and get back to the business of let's live our lives, whatever they can be.
Yeah.
So wherever it changes signs in your chart tells you where you're going to be putting your energies over the next 6 weeks or so, because it's back to a normal routine. So for the first time in 22 months, it is in the sign of Pisces. So for Scorpios, the sign that we are in, this is the, for them, Pisces is the 5th house of love affairs, children, sports, amusements, pleasures, anything fun, anything entertaining. All the tearing down at home is done. And whatever they have left is time to go out and literally play with it. It's a good time for love affairs. It's a good time for creative principles. It's a good time for really kind of indulging your passion for Scorpios, which is about time, because 6 weeks of Mars squaring your sign is just horrible. For Sagittarius, this energy is now going from their 3rd house of day-to-day living into their 4th house of home, and they are going to start to make some changes at home. They're either going to remodel their home, refurbish their home, move, but it has to do with finding settled conditions at home.
Okay.
And whatever and Sagittarians are trying for a new start, so it may be a new home altogether, because Jupiter has just entered their sign. So it depends on what's right for them. For Capricorns, this energy is in their 3rd house of day-to-day living. So the pace of their day-to-day living is about to pick up to where they're going to have to be really careful to the things that they agree to. And they're going to have to find a way to accomplish the things they need to accomplish within prescribed amounts of time. So that means don't volunteer for too many things. For Aquarians, this energy is in their 2nd house of money, and they have been fired up with Mars in their sign since May or so. And so now, and they've done a bunch of brand new starts, they've taken a bunch of actions, and now they find out what the price is for all of that. And, nothing's ever free, and just make sure to, with Mars in your sign, that you don't overspend, and make sure you get what you pay for and do it right the first time. For Pisces, Mars entering their sign is sort of like, makes them the Robert Conrads of the zodiac, where they're going to go, okay, go ahead, knock this off my shoulder right here is what they're going to do. And it really empowers them, and it fires them up like no time in the last 2 years or so. So Pisces everywhere are really, the universe is really conspiring to help Pisces get what it is they say that they want. There's really no energy obstructing them, and if they don't make it happen, it's solely their own fault this time, rather than the universe working against them. For Aries, it's a good time for Aries just to sit back and shut up. Mars is going from their 11th house, where they've achieved a lot of long-standing hope, wishes, goals, and objectives. They've worked well within a group and played well within a group. Now it's time to take a little bit of a step backwards and realize that all of the things that you have achieved, now it's time to incorporate them into your life rather than continuing to try and start new things, because Aries love to start stuff. They don't necessarily like to finish it. So it's a good time for them to finish those things rather than starting new ones.
Gotcha.
For Tauruses, they largely get a break, much like Scorpios. Tauruses have had Mars square in their sign, and it has just been one challenge after another challenge after another challenge after another challenge for Taurus, and finally they get that break. Finally, there's really no energy conspiring against them. Mars in Pisces is very, very good for them. It allows them to pick and choose what they're going to focus their attention on. It also allows them to tap their well-placed friends and colleagues on the shoulder and say, hey, I need a hand with this group kind of a project, and the friends and colleagues will go, oh, okay, we'll be happy to help you. So it's really a very good time. And they ought to know that they weathered probably the roughest 6 months. Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus have all weathered like the roughest 6 months that they've had in a long, long time. So there's a lot of rejoicing going on there.
Yeah, amen to that.
Yeah, for Gemini's, not so much. Gemini's, Mars is now in the 10th house of career and public standing. And Gemini's will find out exactly what the world thinks about them. And I have to tell them they're going to be facing some challenges, professional challenges. And they need to acquiesce, and they need to form new partnerships and new alliances, and to realize that not everybody who on you is your enemy, and not everyone who gets you out of is your friend. And sometimes, if you're warm and happy where you're at, just be quiet. And
we'll see if that appeal applies to our president.
Yes, I doubt it. He has the right to remain silent, no ability to do that. So, but I mean, he's going to come out fighting. Geminis are not going to sit back and take it. I can tell you that
he's
for a
going to
fact.
fight.
Yeah, they are. I'm just saying, pick better allies to do the fighting with. Not saying don't fight, saying pick the right ally. Cancers. This energy for them is in their 9th house of the law. Legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance go very favorably for Cancers. It's a good time for them to expand their range of influence and reach a broader audience with their words, which is also good for the United States being a Cancer. And then for Leos, this energy is in their 8th house of how much money can I spend? Sort of, I know Leos, they can spend a lot of it because there are a lot of things, but Leos aren't cheap. So with Mars in their 8th house of profound transformations, it's unanticipated expenses. This is not stuff you're planning on. This is the kind of stuff where, you know, it just goes awry on you. Kind of a deal. And so if you ever had a rainy day fund, I would look forward to tapping it over the next 6 weeks or so, unfortunately. For Virgos, 7th house of partners and open enemies. And Virgos have to be really careful not to irritate the people that brought them to where they're at. They have to be very, very careful because Virgos are kind of full of themselves with Mars opposing their sign. And they're like, oh yeah, you can't make me. And Virgos are going to find out the universe can make you. And then for Libra, the last sign that we're going to talk about for them, this energy is in their 6th house of work and responsibility. So guess what, Andrew? More work, less pay. Yay, more responsibility.
So what else is new, Andrew?
Yeah, exactly. Expanding duties, expanding responsibilities, and not a lot of money to go along with it. So tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac with Mars moving from Aquarius into Pisces for the first time in 2 years.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for that Mercury move, and it's coming.
I didn't want to mention it, boss, because it's right after that.
See you next week.
Always a pleasure.